and welcome back to what is probably going to be the saltiest you're going to be able to find me over the next few weeks, because as you will have read by the title, it's time for my AOR Season 14 evaluation race. And as you can probably already tell by the sound of my voice, this is not a particularly good evening. Now, this is being commentated over literally about 10 minutes after the race has been finished, so I'm still quite annoyed, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, we digress. I'm going to leave you on board with actually my fastest qualifying lap of the session. This lap was beyond appalling. As you can see, barely can get the car turned into turn 1. Absolutely shocking there. I probably had done way not enough practice for this race, I'm not going to lie. It didn't exactly go well. I really had not, you know, put the laps in, put the time in, just because I kind of forgot about this race and sort of was too busy worried about my time trials for the AOR Season 14. But, you know, I'll leave you still, see absolutely bottling the fast S section there. That was absolutely awful lines through that corner. Not being able to put the power down out of the next corner either. But yeah, so far this lap has been beyond awful. But over the course of the evening, though, it was, well, as you'll find out, it was pretty damn terrible, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, we'll move into that when we do get around to that point. But yeah, as I was saying, hadn't really done much practice, and then, as you would have seen by the events of the evening, massively lost motivation. So sort of just, I didn't give up exactly, but I sort of didn't really probably do as well as I probably could have. Now, there is the opportunity. Obviously, as I said, I'm commentating this very, very quickly after the race has been done. There is the opportunity that I will be able to go and do another race, which I would personally really, really like, because this one was beyond atrocious for me, you know. I'm not even going to try and sugarcoat it. As you can see, for some of you that have come up with the channel recently, I can run a 1:42 around Spa, so the pace is certainly there. But that was the fastest lap of my qualifying session, and then on to my final run. Actually, this was a lot quicker. If I'd been able to use maximum revs all the way around, I probably would have been about 6 or 7 tenths up at this point of the lap. Coming down in towards the final couple of corners there, another little bottle as we go through the final corner there, but down towards the line, we're looking at quite comfortably up until we ran out of fuel. So unfortunately, that was my second qualifying run completely botched up right at the very end there, which was soul destroying, I'm not going to lie. But let's move on then into the Grand Prix, starting P9, because Jamie183's internet decided it didn't want to race. So I was able to move up one position there for the start of the Grand Prix. But hoping, you know, we can get off to somewhat a clean getaway, you know, move up a few positions on the start, you know, try and get up to where I feel, you know, my pace should have allowed me. But yeah, we shall wait and see how well that does go for myself. Waiting for the final few cars to line up on their grid, and then we should be good to go. Ready then, on the start of the grid, put it down into lean, ready for the start. It's 5 lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it is lights out, and away we go. Opt into short shift straight up into second. Try to give myself a bit of a better run there, and we do get a bit of a better run. We've got ESR Clays in the salvo just ahead of me, as well as ESR Master down towards turn 1 though, and TSRL Brown has gone for, you know, forcing his way through of the centre there. I'm greeted with a wall of Formula 1 cars there, which unfortunately forces me down a little bit further down the order than I personally would have liked. But, you know, no matter. We're still doing alright at the moment. We're thinking about going down the inside of Bubble, down in towards the next corner there. We do now move up into P10, losing the back end absolutely massively there. He's just going to try and keep it down around the outside there, but he does back out in the end. But I gave him the room just in case. And next up is ESR Master. I'm going to have a little cheeky dive bomb down in towards the next corner there, making a little bit of contact with my teammate Mini Dude there. So unfortunately not able to make that position stick on the Red Bull car there. But coming through in towards the horrible double right. We got an absolute dive bomb attempt from Bubble. But next up, we're still going to try and line up a move on my teammate Mini Dude here, who are going to be able to dive it down the inside in towards the next corner. We will have the inside. I know I've raced with him a lot. I'm very good mates with him. So I knew, well, I'd hoped, I was pretty certain he was going to back out of that nice and early there. So we're still up in P9 then, after what is most of the first lap of this Grand Prix. So this start, you know, it's been quite good, I'm not going to lie. You know, we've held on fairly decently in comparison to what has happened so far in this Grand Prix. There's been dive bombs, there's been walls, there has been just about everything. But coming down into the final corner, and there is an almighty pile up ahead of me now. Unfortunately, absolutely nowhere for me to go. And then I get tagged again by the Williams and the Red Bull and the Williams again. So I join my Haas teammate in the wall. Had to reverse out of that. That left me down in about P16, P17 there. So that is certainly not the start I would have wanted. Absolute carnage at the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's at that moment, I think, you know, we can all agree, 20% tyre wear as well, that you sort of give up on your evening right there and then, to be honest, you know. The whole consistency thing is out the window, because it's all well and good people saying, oh, you know, you still do it on your laps. There is no motivation to do quick laps. I think we can all agree on that. So, you know, we'll see what I can do still in this Grand Prix. We've got our Dasher as well, who's disconnected, who I'm going to be able to move past nice and quickly there. But yeah, down in P16 of the Grand Prix. This is certainly not what I was hoping for in the Bahrain Grand Prix evaluation race. Go purple in Sector 1, just like everyone else there, which just proves that this game isn't exactly perfect there. We're all over the back of TSRL Brown now, as well as ESR Master is just up the road, but out of the next corner. I don't think we're going to, you know, we're not going to attempt to go for anything there. We do lock up the rears ever so slightly and the fronts into the next corner there, and we are still right up behind there. We actually gave him a little bit of a kiss through that corner there, but nothing, you know, too violent or aggressive there. So we are still holding on to P15 at the moment of this Grand Prix. Got to hope that, you know, we see Brown make a mistake just up ahead of me here, losing the back end ever so slightly there. You know, the confidence on this game is basically there if I actually run some practice. As we come down, we'll completely lose the back end. They'll lock up all over the curves, set the Haas car through, as I wasn't sure how well the ghosting would be there. So just one tiny mistake. I'm down to P16. I'm going to be down to P17, I think, here, as I think we've got an AI. Yes, our Dasher. The AI has overtaken me once more, so this is certainly not the race I wanted. 33% with tyre wear as well. 34% even after just 2 laps of racing. And, you know, it's not looking good at the moment as I fly past the Looney, aka Taz there. Taz, one of my EVR teammates, actually just needs to change his tag at some point or another. But next up, we've got my teammate Mini Dude once more. We've been seeing a lot of him so far during this race. Sure, basically down to the fact we've both been screwed, as well as Taz, in this Grand Prix. But I'm going to think about going for a move down the inside into towards the final corner there. Just about, tiny bit of lag between us there. I squeeze him out on the exit. And now I move back up into P13 of the Grand Prix here. So, you know, it's not looking too bad at this moment in time of the Grand Prix, as he's going to try and think about going for a move back down the inside, down in towards turn 1 there, but backs out of his eye brake a little bit later in towards turn 1 there. But now, onto lap 7 of the Grand Prix, I've now pitted onto a set of the medium compound tyre because my tyre web was completely destroyed after spinning out twice in 2 laps. One of them completely not my fault, the other one, you know, quite a costly mistake from myself. But, you know, it's looking alright at the moment once more as we move on in towards the final sector of the lap, and my game froze, which is absolutely wonderful to see. Just what you need, you know. You're trying to find some consistency, and I've lost connection to Xbox Live. I think Xbox has been a bit funny recently. I did forget to restart my Wi-Fi for this race, but yeah, fortunately for me, one Mr. Ethan Peters was able to save my race from that point, invite me back in, and this was sort of the only other highlight I had from the whole evening. So I'm going to leave you on board then with the fastest race lap from the whole evening set by myself. It was about 1.2, 1.3 seconds quicker than anyone else, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll speak to you after this lap. So I think, you know, we can all agree that lap was an absolute banger there of a 1 minute 30.3 or 1 minute 30.5, I can't even remember. About 6/10 off my quality time, which really does say it all. But in towards the final corner of the Grand Prix, all over the back of Taz until I dipped the wheels over the curb. You know, it was sort of one of those all or nothing moments. Unfortunately, a few people have been disqualified, hence why I'm suddenly in the points. But yeah, that's basically the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix evaluation race. It was, yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. I full throttled into the pits just in case I got disqualified there, so you know I could still look at all the important information that I did need. But yeah, having a look then overall at the race director, you can see that my overall laps, the pace was actually alright, to be honest. You know, there were a couple of laps where I made a few mistakes, but on those super softs at the end I was running, you know, fairly consistent 32s, which hopefully, you know, was fairly decent pace after a couple of small mistakes here and there. But yeah, that has been the end then of my AOR evaluation race. If anyone is watching this over at AOR, please, I think you can hopefully see that I should probably get a rerun from this race. But hopefully, if you are new, this isn't sort of the content I usually make on this channel. I'm a little bit annoyed this evening, as you may have guessed. But yeah, hopefully if you're new still, do not forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content on the channel. And I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.
Yeah.